Hello everybody, welcome to the Shirley Weisman channel, and today you're going to be cooking with Shirley, and we're going to be cooking three things. We'll probably just do one thing in this video and then we'll do the next one, but the three things we're going to be cooking are branch lettuce, dairy-free mashed potatoes, and deer steak. So I'm going to show you how to cook some deer steak. So the first thing we're going to do is branch lettuce. So let me show you a little bit about branch lettuce. Here's a plate of branch lettuce. This is a big piece of it, so make sure you can see it pretty good. Richard and I picked this branch lettuce last weekend. We went on a hike in the mountains, and this is actually a wildflower, or plant. Let's see, I actually have it's an herb and wildflower. The actual name for it up here in the mountains, it grows native to North Carolina mountains. It grows on a freshwater creek, actually, stream, in a stream of water, not flowing too fast. It would wash the seed away. And it grows in clumps, and you pick it. And I have a video of Richard and I picking it on a mountain hike that we did last weekend. So you can watch that. One of them, I don't have my glasses on, sorry about that. But anyway, one of the videos is going on a hike, and we went to a cave, and then we went and picked branch lettuce. And I did two videos on it, and he shows actually cutting it, and we explain a little bit about it. But I do have to get my glasses on to see this. But so it is an herb and a wildflower. It does, I think, grow a yellow flower, but when it goes to seed, you don't want to eat the leaves. But in the mountains of North Carolina, that's where it grows native. And certain elevations and certain times a year, this is in the spring, and we were in a lower elevation, so the higher elevations would, the branch lettuce will come later. For example, we picked it in, just going to show you as I'm talking, I cut it up. We picked it in May last year. For the Ramp Festival in Linville. Linville's a higher elevation. We were down in Lenoir this past weekend, and it's a lower elevation. So it grows in clumps in the spring with so it's fresh, pure water that's constantly flowing. And up here in the mountains we call it branch lettuce. Some people call it brook lettuce or mountain lettuce. It's actually not a lettuce. It is an herb called, the actual terminology for it is Micranthidifolia, or they call it Saxifrage Micranthidifolia. Okay, so enough of that Latin. Anyway, so it has a sweet flavor, and we're going to, last weekend I made it into a beautiful salad, and as you can see, it does cut up nicely, chop up nicely. This, I just kind of sliced it, and like you would do lettuce, and it has a sweet flavor. Tastes really good. I put other vegetables in it and shredded some carrots and some radishes, and cut up some tomatoes and cucumbers and onions. Today we're going to do, and this is the first time I've ever done this, so we're going to try an experiment. It's called killed, like a killed lettuce. You cook it like you would cook spinach. I don't know if anybody have you ever done killed lettuce. You do it with onions, and usually they do it in bacon grease. So you have a hot grease and you cook onions. Actually, traditionally with the branch lettuce, they'll cook ramps with it, which is like a wild garlic, wild onions. The wild onions are very strong. So I don't have any ramps today. But we're going to cook the lettuce, the branch lettuce, like we would, like I cook spinach. So if you ever saute it in a pan, so I have onions. I just wanted to show you the onion. So these are green onions, some big ones, some nice ones. I cut them up. And we're going to use, for our fat, we're going to use some coconut oil. Because I don't eat bacon, so I don't have bacon grease. I'm sure the flavor tastes really good, the bacon grease, but we're using coconut oil. You could use butter as well. So I got my pan on the burner here, over here. I think you can see. I'm not real good at moving the camera while I'm talking, so I'm heating this up. Might need a little bit more. And then I'm going to put the onions in it. I'm going to put I put about 2 spoonfuls of coconut oil, and you can use different brands. You can use butter, or let me show you another alternative. Okay, this is Earth Balance, which is a soy-based butter, so it's dairy-free. I'm going to use that in my dairy-free mashed potatoes. Tastes really good. Or if you want to use grease, or you can use lard. If you save your bacon grease, the flavor is going to be what's good. So what I did was, first of all, we took the branch lettuce and I put them in a big container when we picked it, and I soaked it for a little while, rinsed off sometimes there's grit from sand that goes in the stream. So I rinsed that all off, and then I packed it into bags, labeled it, and took all the air out of it. So that's how I packed it. And this is from last week. Okay, so, and it turned out good. So it still looks good. This is what it looks like. Okay, took it out of the bag, and then I cut it up. Okay, looks like that. All right, so now, and I cut the onions. So what we're going to do, first of all, I got the grease going here. Well, not the grease, but the coconut oil. So I'm going to put my onions in there. Okay, so we got those going. Just grab a spoon. Okay. So I'm just going to saute the onions until they're soft, just like you would saute spinach. So I'm going to do this that way. And like I said, I've never done this before, so we're going to try it together. And it should be really nice with our mashed potatoes and our deer steak. And I'm going to actually cube the deer steak, put it through a meat tenderizer, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. But that'll be in another video. After the killed lettuce, so we're going to call this killed branch lettuce. And after this, I'll do the dairy-free mashed potatoes. That'll be on a different video, and then the deer meat will be on the last video. Okay, so I got those sauteing in here, so now I'm going to add my lettuce. Okay, and I didn't chop it up too small. That actually doesn't look very chopped up, but just kind of like you would spinach. Sometimes spinach, if it's small, I just put it in whole. Okay. So I'm adding this, and it's going to kill it. In other words, it won't be, it'll be cooked. Actually, the killed part of it is it cooks really fast in hot grease. So I'm going to cook this. It actually smells pretty good here. No, you can't really zoom in with the camera, but I'm going to show it to you once we get it cooking a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And I don't really measure. I don't like stuff very salty. So I guess this will be about, well, if you want to put about a teaspoon, you can, but that was probably more like half a teaspoon. And then black pepper. Ooh, well, we don't want to put too much. That was probably about a teaspoonful of that, or half a teaspoon. Okay, so I'm just going to cook it a little bit more and keep adding, because I had a good bit. That bag was a gallon bag, but I had it stuffed full, and this was about 1 bag full, so, which, I don't know if you were picking at how many clumps of branch lettuce it would be, but we had, I think I got 6 gallon bags, which are packed full pretty good. What I did is when I rinsed them, I soaked them and rinsed them through, and then I put them in a salad spinner and spinned all the water out of it. Because otherwise it would get moldy and wilty in the refrigerator. So this kept it pretty fresh, and you wouldn't want to freeze it. It wouldn't taste too good frozen. Not that I know of. I haven't tried it. So we're just cooking this, and it's getting wilted or killed, as the recipe is. And we started with a pretty big bag full, which was a little bit fuller than that. So we started with that, and actually I had it in here, and then I just kept some out so you could see the big leaves, and then cooked it, and it was overflowing in my pan, and now it's cooked down. So I could actually add more if I wanted, but okay. I'm going to turn the burner off. Okay, and we'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see the steam. Let's see, it looks kind of like a spinach would look, okay, with onions. And of course, we're going to have to taste it. So, ooh, hot. It tastes really good. Kind of tastes like a spinach, actually. So that is actually an herb. So, well, that is what it looks like, and this is called killed branch lettuce. And thank you for cooking with Shirley. Be sure to watch the dairy-free mashed potatoes and the cooking the deer meat, and I'll show you those next. But again, thank you for joining Shirley, Cooking with Shirley, and cooking killed branch lettuce. And we'll catch you next time.